Okay, hello and welcome to the weather update. Not quite as sunny today. We had some clouds and fog roll in. Here's some of the fog trying to come in here in Mill Pond and Wantagh because I was on the South Shore again today because obviously I didn't want to deal with the middle of the island. Here you go. You can see like those fog clouds, but other than that, I don't really see a whole lot of clouds around. But we have fog over Long Island. Not really showing up too well on this satellite image. And then there is this that we're going to be talking about in a moment. First, let's look at some of the observations here across the area. You can see the heat out west, and you can see the flood advisories now in the Carolinas and western North Carolina and into southern Carolina into Virginia. And that is due to something tropical that we are going to be talking about in a moment. But first, let's take a look at our area right now. We have some. Let's look at some of the observations if they would all show up here. So, kind of a muggy evening. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. It wasn't all that hot today. It was warmer than yesterday. We're gonna look at some of these observations here from. Let's see if I can find Carl Place. No, Carl Place is not showing up in here. All right, that's not good. All right, I'll have to use this one. We can use this. It says Oyster Bay. I'll use this Muttontown observation. So let's take a look and see what the high was today in Muttontown, which is, I guess, the closest one I can get to. It would show up here. So let's see what the high was today. All right, we got up. Yeah, not all that hot today. A little hotter than yesterday, 77, but no 80s. So generally mid 70s across the island, I think. We can look at some of these. We'll look at some of the observations on here instead. So, pull this up. And yes, there was a lot of heat upstate that I got to talk about too. So we do have a dense fog advisory in effect. I see it already over here. Dense fog advisory for coastal Connecticut, Long Island. So you can see that because we're having a really muggy air mass move in, and the water temperatures are still kind of cool. So the water temperatures are only like the low 50s. So the water temperatures are well below the dew points, which are basically in the low 60s right now. So let's pull up the observation for Farmingdale. So 64, dew point is 60. Let's see what Farmingdale got up to. 76. You can see those dew points though up there. Did have some sun, but then on the clouds kind of came in, especially on the South Shore. The clouds really came in. We'll look at Islip as well. 61, dew point 61. So they're already reporting fog. And Islip got up to 74 today. 74, and they're reporting fog with visibility of a mile. And so let's see what the city got to today. Central Park. It's probably closer to 80 there, so it's 64 right now. Let's see what Central Park got up to. 79. Okay, so yeah, warmer in the city. And if we go into New Jersey, we'll take a look at our usual hot spot in New Jersey, Toms River. Still 72 at Mount Holly, so they probably had a much hotter day in Toms River today. 67 in Toms River, no fog, and they hit 80. Okay, a little bit hotter there, not dramatically hotter. But we do want to talk about the heat upstate in Syracuse. Somebody told me about Syracuse, so let's talk about that. Because I know they had some pretty impressive heat in Syracuse that we're going to talk about. 81 in Buffalo right now, and it's 80 in Syracuse right now at 9:30 at night. So if I didn't say welcome to the weather update, it's May 27th, 2020, 9:30 p.m. Maybe I forgot to tell you the time. But 80 degrees, wow, that is really something. And let's see, it hit 89 in Syracuse today, and yesterday it hit 93 at the airport. That is insane. So that's that's probably record heat for that area. I mean, it's still May, you know. Let's see. So the Weather Service, I guess that would be the Buffalo Weather Service. That would be. Let's see anything about the heat here. So let's see. Yeah, Buffalo issues a record report. Okay, so this is the record report. Let's see what they had. This is upstate. Waiting for it to load here. You have to bear with me. My computer is very slow. So record high temperature of 88 was set at Watertown. Okay, so that's the record there. Let's see. So here's the graphics. How much above? This is just the average temperature difference. Here's the record high temperatures from Tuesday. So here are the records from yesterday that we'll go over. We'll go over these. Okay, so here are the records. So 93 at Buffalo, beat the 88 in 1944. Rochester, 93, beat 90 in 1944. And Watertown, 87, beat 85 in... I'll mention the Syracuse in here. Alright, why is all this other stuff here? Seriously, Wall Street, you don't need to be in here. Alright, let's try this. Alright, so that was the record highs from yesterday, because I know somebody brought up the heat. Somebody said it was 98 in Syracuse. I can't find anything on that. 98 degrees, Syracuse. Let's see if I can find anything. I'm trying to, but... Let's see. Otherwise, I can't help you. I'm sorry. Nope. It's about the band 98 degrees, but nothing. So it was 93 there. I have no proof of it being 98. If they want to, if whoever said it was 98, give me a link, because I can't find any information. They said it was on the Weather Channel, but I can't find anything. So, and this is the weather service for Syracuse, New York. Actually, no, it's Binghamton. Okay, so maybe Binghamton has something on it. I really want to try to talk about the heat upstate, because while we've been missing out on it, they've had some real heat yesterday. All right, Binghamton had a record event report for yesterday. All right, let's see if we can get that record report, record event, a whole bunch of record report. All right, let's see for Binghamton. Let's see what we got. So record high temperature of Avoca. It's Avoca. Let's see. Syracuse was, all right, 93. 93 was the right. It was not 98, but it was a record high in Syracuse of 93. This breaks the old record of 90 set in 2011. Okay, so I just wanted to cover that because it's important to, it is in our state. Okay, so with that out of the way, now let's talk about Bertha. So here's Bertha, Tropical Depression Bertha. Max sustained winds 30 miles an hour, minimum central pressure 1008. It's not much of a wind issue, but the fact is it is a tropical depression. This is what formed over Florida. Has now kind of moved its way into the Carolinas and maybe affecting our weather, and it appears we have no internet. So I don't know what's going on here. It'll come back. Lately, the internet goes off, then it comes back on again. I don't know what causes that. I think it's the computer. Alright, so this is let's look at the map here. I mean, this is not really a big deal because there's not going to be much wind with it. It's just going to bring some precipitation, basically. It's going to stay in its overland, but it's another storm, and it's not officially the season yet, which goes to show you how active this season could be. So looking at this is Bertha right over here. Just a mess of rain showers and thunderstorms, basically, that is over the Carolinas. And if we look at this on the radar, you will see here, let's move this down a little bit, you can see here some pretty heavy rain is going to fall in these areas here, western North Carolina into West Virginia. And then there's another batch of rain in Tennessee around Nashville. So we're going to have to watch this because we may see some effects in our area from it. So let's go to the Tropical Tidbits site and look at the models here. We are going to, we already went over the upper air pattern, so we're going to mainly look at the surface in this weather update here. And it's mainly all about Bertha, which is right. Well, we can look at the upper air pattern, I guess, because it is all part of the picture, but I'm not going to change. I'm going to keep this in the CONUS view in the upper air. All right, so you got this big ridge off the floor, and you have this disturbance over here, and then you have a trough over here in the south. And so that ridge hangs tight, and then we have the trough dive down for the weekend now. And it's slower, obviously. This always happens. The models slow it down. So now the trough really, the cool air really doesn't swing to until Sunday, Monday, and then it's going to hang around for a little bit, that trough. And then we're going to see some ridging again building in the east as we get further into June. And then there's this over here that the GFS keeps putting all over the place. out there. We don't know if it's this is just the GFS, I think, that's showing it. So we're going to look at the Euro now. You can see same idea with that trough coming down. That's going to bring a period of cool weather, maybe unsettled weather too, but cooler. And then it keeps the trough around a little longer, and then the ridge builds in as we get into that first weekend of June, when things could heat up. So if we look at the temperature anomaly chart, which we will do on the GFS, move this along here. So here's tomorrow. We're a little above average, but you see the way above average here. This is where the heat really is. Really a lot of heat, strong ridging over here in northern New England. Maine has had some pretty extreme heat, as well as southeastern Canada, so like Toronto, Montreal. Now for us, we'll be a little bit above normal, not as drastic as up there. We'll be a little more above normal on Friday. The heat's going to come up ahead of the cold front. We're still hanging on to the heat on Saturday, and then we go below normal Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll be below normal. But then as we get toward, I think, the end, it still stays a little bit below normal. So we start seeing that same kind of pattern again with the heat more inland. So, well, according to this, it doesn't look like it's going to be all that hot. Fortunately, no extended periods of heat that we will be dealing with. The next thing that we have to talk about, though, is precipitation. So let's move over to the NAM here. This is the 0Z NAM, which I don't have enough in, so we'll use the 18Z NAM. So we have this high, and then we have some of that moisture from this tropical disturbance Bertha that may make its way into parts of our area tomorrow. Maybe more likely west of the city, but we may see a scattered shower or two over the area tomorrow, and then Friday we may see it also, especially in the morning. There may be some drizzle again in there, again with that fog that we're dealing with, and then we have to deal with the cold front, which the NAM doesn't seem to generate anything with, which is kind of weird. It has everything to the west of us, which is kind of weird. Let me look at the GFS, and we'll see how this is the GFS again. Don't expect much in the way of rain. I mean, there could be a scattered shower. It looks like there's going to be a broader area of rain that might develop over there Friday, so it won't be as dry as we thought. We may be dealing with some scattered shower activity and drizzle activity. There's that front, and again, it just kind of brings it through in the morning, I think, and that's why we don't see the activity, because of the peak convection would be around then. And then we have this high build-in with this northwesterly flow into the next week, and then a series of cold fronts maybe, and lows that dive down. So again, it looks like a cool pattern that we're going to be setting up into. As far as the amount of precipitation we will see, we can look at the total accumulated precipitation and see how much rain we may get. It's not really bringing us anything. It's more likely Friday that we'd see the rain. But again, you can see according to this signature here that most of it stays off to the west. If you look at the NAM, you'll see a similar idea here. All right, no, we got to go back to the 18Z. So you'll see a similar idea here that we have the not really a lot of rainfall. Most of it's off to the west. So it stays kind of dry, though we will have some scattered drizzle and shower activity perhaps. Let me go back to this and we'll look at the HRRR, and then we'll take a look at our temperatures and humidity. Here's the HRRR. So you can see it develops some shower activity mostly to our west, but when we get gray spot, I think we'll hopefully luck out and not have to deal with any of these showers. Hopefully, but whatever forms will be very small and isolated, you could see, and most of the activities though. So the reason why we're seeing this again is because of the moisture coming from Bertha, and we're going to have a stronger south to southwest flow. You can see a little more activity Friday morning, a little more shower activity perhaps for Friday morning. So let me go to the GFS, and we will look at our temperatures and see how our temperatures will do. So I'll show you tomorrow. So tomorrow, that cloud cover, there probably will be a lot of cloud cover. Temperatures probably aren't going to get much above, probably low to mid 70s, but it's going to be muggy, and it stays kind of warm and muggy tomorrow night. And then Friday, we could see a little more heat closer to 80 inland, but I think Long Island should mainly be in the 70s, And then there's that front. You can see it coming through. But we may have a downslope flow on Saturday, so it might wind up be kind of hot to start, maybe near 80, especially if there is a west wind that might suppress the sea breeze. And you see the cooler air coming in for us with temperatures a little bit below normal on Sunday with around 70 degrees. And then you could see temperatures just 60s and maybe to around 70 on Monday. Tuesday we warm up to the low 70s. And then we're going into next week now, and the first weekend of June, which I said we'd have to watch out for the heat, and that's when it looks like the heat tries to come. But it's still in the GFS, doesn't really show anything that bad until we get maybe into the Monday, June 8th, where we start to see a little more heat. And again, this isn't really very hot upstate, again, so we'd have to hope for a sea breeze to develop. If we have a west wind, it would be bad. Be very bad, but it's a ways off, so I can't speculate too much. I'm not going to speculate too much on this. So let's take a look at the dew points, because we will be dealing with the humidity. And you can see high humidity, dew points in the 60s. That's through tomorrow. We'll be dealing with this humidity, and especially Friday, there's going to be a lot of humidity trying to make its way, especially these dew point pools. They're going to be occurring. Basically, the humidity is hitting the Appalachian Mountains. This could be a focal point for some shower and thunderstorm development, but again, that's basically west of our area. Stronger south winds, so that should keep the sea breeze, keeping Long Island cooler. And then Saturday, you can see that westerly flow will bring in the drier air. Dew points do drop into the 50s, and then we got plenty of dry air for Sunday, Monday, into June, and then we don't have to start dealing with the humidity until we get toward. See, that looks like a little backdoor front there that might protect us there on Thursday. And who knows? Maybe we'll have a backdoor front and it'll protect us from the heat, and we won't get into it at all. I hope so. Hope so, because we got to remember we can't eat inside a restaurant yet. So let's, I guess, now look at the skies. So you see plenty of clouds, plenty of clouds. Plenty of clouds Saturday. Sunday we clear out. Should be a nice sunny day. Maybe some cumulus clouds popping up there. Monday should be sunny, mostly sunny. Tuesday then we start seeing more clouds. And then look at that. There's that backdoor front. You can clearly see it there. We'll see what happens if that actually materializes. That's a ways off. We're not going to speculate that far off. We're really not. Look at the NAM, the sky cover. This just has higher resolution again, and let me go to the 18Z sky cover. So we can look at the sky cover tomorrow. You can see plenty of clouds around. I don't think we'll see much sun at all. Maybe a few little breaks, but I think more clouds than anything else. And same thing Friday, though. It seems like it wants to develop in the area of, breaking the clouds over Nassau and New York City. We'll have to see if that materializes on Friday. And that's as far as I got onto Saturday. I do want to go to the 12-kilometer NAM and just look at the dew points here on this. So we can look at those dew points again. You can see those high dew points again showing up over our area, that humidity. And then you can see there's that front coming through. But you see that front comes through like early in the day Saturday. That just may not be enough. If it was later, then the atmosphere would be more ripe for some strong to severe thunderstorms. But we can look at the SPC and see if it has us in a risk, which I'll do. That's the Storm Prediction Center, and we'll see if there's anything that would be a trigger for severe thunderstorms. And it seems like we're missing some information here. Alright, here we go. That's what I need. Convective outlook. Alright, so day 2 convective outlook. Alright, this is day 2 convective. Alright, so this is for tomorrow. So generally just thunderstorm chances over New Jersey. It's marginal over parts of the south. Let's go to day 3, which would be Saturday. Okay. Actually, no, day 3 is day 3. Day 3 is Friday. So you have that marginal, but it's mostly off to the west. And day 4 to 8, predictability is too low. So I guess that'll wrap up this weather update. Probably, just going to be some clouds, some drizzle, some fog. Hopefully, we can have afternoons that are dry enough, so I'm not stuck inside. Uh, but I think we'll see improvement. And fortunately, like I said, no sustained really bad heat for us. But the people upstate are dealing with it, and they're still not allowed to eat inside, which is ridiculous. So that's going to be it for this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.